What is a relational database? A relational database is a collection of data points with predefined relationship between them. The relational model organizes data into tables, with each row representing an individual record and each column consisting of attributes that contain values. This tabular database structure makes it easy to establish relationships between data points so that the information can be accessed in a variety of different ways without reorganizing the data itself. You can join the tables in a relational database to gain deeper insights into the interconnection between diverse data points. Give an example of diagram of a relational database. The table customer has column names and address with row values, Tran and California. Similarly, the table product has column names and costs with rows, values, shoes, and $12. You join the customer table with the product table to identify popular products that customer purchase more frequently. In short, a relational database is a way to restore and access data with predefined relationships. How do relational databases work? Relational databases work by providing an environment from which application access data and reassemble it in various ways without having to reorganize the data tables from within the application code. We give some key features of a relational database system below. First, data model. The relational database is made of tables that represent real-world objects or concepts, often referred to as entities. Each column in a table holds a certain kind of data known as an attribute, and a field stores the actual value of an attribute. The rows and columns in the table represent a collection of related values of one object or entity. You can mark each row in a table with a unique identifier called a primary key. A foreign key references the primary key of another existing table and creates a logical connection. Rows among multiple tables thus relate together using a primary key or foreign key pairing. For example, each row of an order tables can contain a foreign key that contains the customer ID, which identifies the row, and the customer table that contains all the information about the customer. SQL. Structured Query Language or SQL is the primary interface to communicate with relational databases. SQL became a standard of the American National Standard Institute ANSI in 1986. All popular relational database engines support the standard ANSI SQL, so you can use it to update, delete, or store data, retrieve data, subset, and manage all aspects of your relational database. SQL is fairly easy to learn as it uses common English keywords in its statements. It also integrates well with different programming languages. For example, you can embed SQL queries with the Java programming language to build high-performing data processing application with major SQL database system. Third, transaction. A relational database transaction is one or more SQL statements that run as a sequence of operations and form a single logical unit of work. Transaction provide an all or nothing proposition, meaning that the entire transaction must complete as a single unit. If the relational database management system cannot complete any part of the transaction, none of the individual components go through. In the relational model terminology, a transaction results in a commit or rollback. The database management system treats every transaction coherently and reliably independent and isolated from other transactions. Fourth, ACID compliance or ACID compliance. All relational database transactions must be atomic, consistent, isolated, and durable. compliant to ensure data integrity. Atomicity. Atomicity requires that the transaction as a whole should execute successfully. If a part of the transaction fails, then any changes that were made as part of the transaction are rolled back. Consistency. Consistency requires that the data written to the relational database as part of the transaction must adhere to all defined rules and restrictions, including constraints, cascades, and triggers. Isolation. Isolation requires that each transaction is independent unto itself. When multiple users attempt to modify data in a relational database simultaneously, concurrency control mechanism prevent them from overwriting each other's changes. Durability. Durability requires that all the changes made to the relational database be permanent once a transaction is successfully completed. Benefits of using relational database in modern project. The primary benefit of the relational data model is the ability to derive meaningful information from data. For example, you can count, sort, and group data in a table, as well as perform mathematical operation and generate complex report. Hence, relational database system remains the most popular for data storage today. We give some more benefits below. First, data integrity. Data integrity is the overall completeness, accuracy, and consistency of data. Relational database use a set of constraints to enforce data integrity in the database. These include primary key, foreign key, not null constraints, unique constraints, default constraint, and check constraints. These integrity constraints will help enforce business rules on data in tables to ensure the accuracy and reliability of the data. In addition to this, most relational databases also allow custom code to be embedded in triggers that execute based on an action on a data point in the database. Custom code can be also embedded in store procedure that execute when they are invoked by client or application. Second, security. Most relational database management systems have sophisticated access controls. Your database administrators can precisely determine who get what access to which data. You can limit access to read, modify, and delete data even at the individual cell level. Such granular access control makes relational databases very secure. Third, backup and disaster recovery. Most relational databases have import and export functionality, so you can quickly create data backups. Modern cloud-based relational databases performs continuous mirroring, so you can restore lost data in seconds or less. Fourth, community support. Several relational database technologies are open source and free to use. Open source databases have active communities continuously improving and adapting features and functions. Developers and data engineers can access various tools and software that make the relational database very convenient to use. Relational databases use process in real world applications. These aren't just back office systems, they're transforming entire industries. Here's where they make the biggest difference. Finance. Every card transaction, every digital bank transfer lives in a relational database. Fintechs and traditional banks rely on this structure because misplacements are, of course, unacceptable. E-commerce. Managing thousands of products, real-time inventory, and purchase histories without data duplication. Amazon, Shopify, and peers depend on this organizational backbone. Healthcare. Your medical records must be unique, updatable, and securely accessible. Relational database deliver exactly what hospitals and clinics require. SaaS. SaaS like Salesforce and internal tools use relationship to connect users, permissions, activities, and logs, all with traceability. Letter B. What is a data warehouse? A data warehouse is a data management system that stores large amounts of data for later use in processing and analysis. You can think of it as a large warehouse where trucks unload their data. That data is then sorted into rows and rows of well organized shelves that make it easy to find exactly what you're looking for later. The biggest innovation data warehouses introduced at their inception, according to DW 2.0, the architecture for the next generation of data warehousing was the ability to store integrated granular historical data. Breaking down breaking that down into human terms, this means data warehouses excel at storing data that's first integrated. They combine data from many databases and data sources. Second, granular. The data they have is highly detailed and can be used in many different ways. Third, historical. They can host a continuous record of data over years and years. You can store this data in three different ways: on premise data warehouses, cloud data warehouses, and hybrid data warehouses. On premise data warehouses run on a physical servers that your company owns and manages. Cloud data warehouses are fully online and you pay for space on servers that another company manages, like Amazon Redshift. Hybrid data warehouses are a mix of both on-premise and cloud, and company making the transition to the cloud over a period of time use this option. With all the data stored in one place, data warehouses use a specific approach to process data called online analytical processing, or OLAP, which is specifically designed for complex queries. One way to think about it is that when you go to your data warehouse to ask a question about the relationship between one set of data and another, OLAP is a way of organizing and moving among the rows and rows of shelves to quickly find that information. This is this is great for business intelligence because the question you ask about your data in order to make decisions are really simple. Because data warehouses use OLAP, they make finding answers to these complex questions very efficient. As a result, they become a foundation for many successful business intelligence systems. What is data warehousing? Why is warehousing important? A data warehouse is a system that stores data from a company operational database as well as external sources. Data warehouse platforms are different from operational databases because they store historical information, making it easier for business leaders to analyze data over a specific period of time. Data warehouse platforms also sort database on different subject matters such as customer products or business activities. Data warehousing is an increasingly important business intelligence tool, allowing organizations to ensure consistency. Data warehousings are programmed to apply a uniform format to all collected data, which make it easier to corporate decision makers to analyze and share data insights with their colleagues around the globe. Standardizing data from different sources also reduces the risk of error in interpretation and improves overall accuracy. Make better business decision. Successful business leaders develop data-driven strategies and really make decisions without consulting the facts. Data warehousing improves the speed and efficiency of assessing different data sets and makes it easier for corporate decision makers to derive insights that will guide the business and marketing strategies that set them apart from their competitors. Improve their bottom line. Data warehouse platform allow business leaders to quickly access their organization historical activities and evaluate initiatives that have been successful or unsuccessful in the past. These allow executives to see where they can adjust their strategy to decrease costs, maximize efficiency, and increase sales to improve their bottom line. Benefits of data warehouse. Beyond wanting to meet their goals, business also want to beat their competition. To accomplish this, ultimately, you need to make better business decisions than your competitors. A data warehouse can facilitate this win. Once a data warehouse is integrated into your data strategy, the positive impact will be immediate. Since a data warehouse is solving the ongoing problem of combining data from disparate data sources and blending it together in one centralized location. You can then convert that data into actionable information. The immediate and long-term benefits of data warehouse include separation from operational systems specifically designed to analyze data, cost effective. Even though you're investing in a new system, data warehouses offer moderate pricing for long-term data storage available for queries because you don't have to run queries on your operational database. Data warehouses are solely available for queries associated with defined periods of time. Since it's so cost effective to store data on a data warehouse, you can keep historical information intact and organized. Static on a non volatile system that is typically read only and append only. These are all benefits in investing in a data warehouse because it allows you to perform analysis on company data and allows your company to have access to insights in a reliable and fast manner. Data warehouses provide better analysis. Let's recap what we've learned so far about data warehouses. Unlike a database which is focused on users inputting data, a data warehouse is architected for decision making, ad hoc queries, and analytics, thus enabling queries to be performed without any impact to your company's operational database. Additionally, data warehouses are made to store large volume of historical data, often spanning on a few years back while still being able to quickly query data. Understanding what types of analysis can be performed on your data warehouse is crucial in using the analytical system to its full potential. A data warehouse can perform the following: enhance business intelligence. In combining data from multiple data sources, your analysis will benefit by getting a complete view, whether it's marketing conversions or product usage. Data quality and consistency. Everyone in the company will get data from one source, providing a single source of truth which accelerates the decision making. Improvements across the organization. Track, manage, and improve performance at the company and more granular department level. Better decision making. No one has to make decisions based on incomplete or limited data, or worse, intuition alone. Decision makers will be able to view dashboards in real time and make decisions based on data. Access to data. With faster access to data, your company will be able to make decisions ahead of the competition. Because data warehouses are designed to perform analysis, it enables users to ask questions and iterate on results. Refining a product, sales process, or marketing campaign is beneficial to competitive companies. And so, if analysis performed on a data warehouse can improve Intel into that, it's a no-brainer to segment your data system into a database and data warehouse. How to use data warehouses in business intelligence. Business intelligence, as we know it today, would not be possible without the data warehouse. At its core, business intelligence is the ability to answer complex questions about your data and use those answers to make informed business decisions. In order to do this well, you need a data warehouse which not only provides a safe way to centralize and store all your data, but also a method to quickly find the answer you need when you need them. And that's a pretty important role. By 2025, it's estimated humanity will have produced a total of 175 zettabytes of data. For context, that is 175 billion terabytes. Where does all the information go? Well, most of it goes in the data warehouses. Companies use data warehouses to manage transactions, understand their data, and keep it all organized. In short, data warehouses make large amounts of information more usable for organization and of all sizes and types. This has made them a linchpin of data pipelines and business intelligence systems the world over. And understanding how data warehouses work can help you fulfill the full potential of business intelligence. It's not as complex as it may seem. What is the role of data warehousing in business intelligence? In business intelligence, data warehouses serve as the backbone of data storage. Business intelligence relies on complex queries and comparing multiple sets of data to inform everything from everyday decisions to organization-wide shifts in focus. To facilitate this, business intelligence is comprised of three overarching activities: data wrangling, data storage, and data analysis. Data wrangling is usually facilitated by extract, transform, and load (ETL) technologies, which we'll explain in details below. And data analysis is done using business intelligence tools like Atlassian Analytics. The glue holding this process together is data warehouses, which serve as the facilitator of data storage using OLAP. They integrate, summarize, and transform data, making it easier to analyze. Even though data warehouses serve as the backbone of data storage, they're not the only technology involved in data storage. Many companies go through a data storage hierarchy before reaching the point where they absolutely need a data warehouse. Data warehouse in business intelligence, system architecture, and OLTP versus OLAP in YouTube. Number one, differentiation of OLTP and business intelligence. Some belong to the online transaction processing application like the traditional database, but some belong to data warehouse and business intelligence related to the application. If you ask questions about the specific orders, specific product items, specific customers in terms of product inventory level for a specific product, status of a customer's order and customer's payment record, etc. That's the online transaction processing system area. A broader, more aggregated, summarized, deeper analysis related questions belong to a data warehouse and business intelligence. That belongs to the business intelligence area. Number two, explain the process of data warehousing architecture. This diagram showed us the architecture for data warehouse and business intelligence and kind of process. How the raw data migrate to the data warehouse and eventually be used by the end user for analytical purposes. Step 1. Over here in this diagram is the data source. We have multiple sources for data. It could be in the traditional transaction processing system, or it could be a flat file and Excel workbook can all be sources for the data. Getting the data in the data warehouse from multiple sources requires a lot of effort and process is called LTL, or the extract, transform, and load. You extract data from multiple sources, you will perform some kind of transformation to clean up the data, and eventually in batch mode, we will load the data into data warehouse. So data warehouse is enterprise-wide in nature. You may actually create a subset of data from our data warehouse into something called data mart. So think about the data mart as just like a subset of a data warehouse. From the data mart or the data warehouse, we can create something called a data cube or OLAP cube, an online analytical processing cube. The front-end tool includes a simple query tool, reporting tool, analytical analysis tool, and data mining tool. Number three, what is a normalized database for OLTP? The online transaction processing applications databases are usually fully normalized. Database normalization is one of the techniques in database design. When you normalize a database, usually you have much smaller table. Instead of grouping orders into a single table, we have order and order detail. Instead of combining category data into products, we have a category table which is separate from the product, and this will allow us to process transactions very efficiently. 4. Differentiation of OLTP and OLAP. Online Transaction Processing System or OLTP is basically for handling business transaction and recording data generated during business event. Online Analytical Processing System or OLAP basically rely on data warehouse and some of data analysis tool to generate business intelligence. OLTP source data is operational data, where OLAP consolidated data from a variety of OLTP databases. OLTP purpose of data is to run and control fundamental business tasks, while OLAP purpose of data is to help with planning, problem solving, and decision support. OLTM handle the insert, update, and delete of the data initiated by an end user, while OLAP rely on a periodical long-running batch job to refresh the data in the data warehouse. OLTP typically queries are simpler and usually return relatively few records, while OLAP queries are often quite complex and involve a lot of joint operation and aggregation. Transaction processing system database tends to be highly normalized, while for data warehouses, we have that kind denormalized tables.